Man, I'm laughing. I just thought of something. This is why I love business. This is why I love business. So here is an interesting fact. UFC is gonna start putting up events against Bellator. And I heard that, I was like, wow, man, Bellator doesn't stand a chance because here's a picture of I drew. Can you see it? Yeah, let me hold it close. This is the UFC right here. This this fish right here. Yep. Oh, here we go. This is the UFC right here, and this is Bellator. This little small fin right here. You see that small fin? There's only one problem. It's attached to this huge shark right here, Viacom. Okay, so UFC, Bellator, Viacom. See how that works. So the UFC says, "Hey, we're gonna go up against Viacom. We're gonna take them down." And I'm thinking to myself, Dana White, you don't realize when you get in the rope a dope. Let me explain something to you on Lorenzo Fertitta. Let me just give you the rundown, the stats. Okay, Viacom has a distribution pipeline that's in over. they have 700 million subscribers. They're in over in 160 countries. They have Netflix as a pipeline, Google Play as a pipeline. You still think you can take them on? All right, let me just read a few things here for you, Dana White. Dana White. I'm hoping you're watching this video because this will probably save the UFC a lot of heartache. Okay, so Viacom subsidiaries are Paramount, Paramount Pictures, Paramount Insurgent, MTV Films, Nickelodeon, Paramount Villages. Their digital platforms are Netflix, Amazon, iTunes, Google Play. Okay, now let me just run down the numbers because I'm a numbers guys. I always look at the money. Whenever you're going to war with anybody and your business going up against their business, look at the money. That's going to determine who will last the longest. Now, Viacom has 20 billion in treasury stock, 14 billion in retained earnings, and 2.3 billion in operating cash. Yeah, the UFC, you're what, 600, 500 million. So I'm gonna read some more, and then I'm just giving some facts. Then I'm gonna put all this together. I know this video seemed long, but it will come together. Dana White, make sure you're watching this thing, and you know this is free consulting. I won't send you a bill for it. Okay, now Bellator. I'm gonna read a few facts about the Bellator pipeline. Okay, Bellator is in the UK on colors. They're in Ireland. They're in India. They're in Canada. They're in France. They have MTV Japanese, MTV Asia. They have Celestial Tiger Promotions. So they're also in Japan. Okay. They own names. Here's Mission Impossible. They own Transformers. They own it. All these things, titles that they own in their film thing, that's a lot of revenue. They're in a lot of countries. They have a large, already established pipeline. Now I'm just going to read a few quick facts here. Spike TV, they have 938,000 viewers that tune in weekly to watch Bellator. You know, you multiply that by 5 or whatever, blah blah blah. So you might be thinking, hey, we're beating these guys because we have 1.2 million viewers. You know, we're number one in that category with our reality show, but that's not true. What you don't realize is that Fox TV Latina goes into 50 million households in the Middle East and Africa. They have a 24-hour sports channel, and they have an agreement that they signed with Russia too to pipe Bellator. Here we go. The largest broadcasting agreement. Bellator goes into 83 million homes in Russia. Okay, 10 play is in Australia, and I already mentioned Celestial Tiger. Okay, now I just want to give you some, Dana White, if you're watching this, please pay very close attention. Okay? Let me explain what Bellator is doing to you. They have a huge pipeline. Okay? They sell content. They already have the pipeline, Google Play. They're already in all these homes. They sell content. Their goal is to force you to go up against them to put on more pay-per-view events. Now, if I'm at home, I'm just chilling, and Bellator is on at a reasonable time, 8, 9 o'clock. I'm doing some work. I can watch that easily. It's free. I already paid for it in my cable package. But UFC comes out $40 for UFC 194, $40 for UFC 195, $5 for one, and they're forcing you to stack your events close together up against their events. They don't have to make money. You understand? Because they're connected to the big fish. Their reserves cash is massive Viacom. Can you see it? Can you see it? You know, like this massive. All the years you can see it. The massive Viacom big fish that they're connected to, that allows them the flexibility of being able to run at virtually a loss or even break even. Because once they put the content into their international pipeline, the advertising alone covers that. So once they hold an event, the gate alone, they could hold an event and the gate alone can be enough for them to break even. And they're good. Because they're forced you into a situation where you're, you know, you're ramping up. You just bang, 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 putting on all these fights. Fighters getting injured. You're forcing you to scale faster than you would normally scale and to push yourself beyond the limits. So you're gonna be using up a lot of your investment capital, and you're gonna be going to markets internationally, and they're already established. And they're gonna use their pipeline and their connections to block you from access to certain TV deals, to cut you off at the knees. So you go into France where colors is, and you say, "Hey, I'm going to sell a pay-per-view, blah 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 blah, internationally in France," and the people there say, "You know what? I'm highly offended because sacre bleu, I get the fighting MMA fighting on the Colors channel for free. I'm not going to pay for it, sacre bleu." That's my best French, but I'm basically saying that they're expanding into other countries through their pipeline and resources that they have, and they're giving away that content for free. So when Dana White gets upset and says, "Oh, their fighters are crap. They don't care. They can fill their pipeline with any kind of junk, even if it's as long as it's interesting, and they outflank you, and people refuse to pay for what you're selling because hey, they think they already have, all fights are created equal." That's the plan. Do not go up against Bellator, Dana White. Back down. You gotta back down. You gotta revamp your operations, and you gotta scale slowly. You gotta start making you can't go vertical. You cannot move up. You're not a big fish. Okay? You're not a big fish. In any case, big fish eat downstream. They always eat the smaller fish. Viacom is a huge fish. You can't just swim up past it. No. What you gotta do is get in a school of fish. You gotta merge with other companies. You gotta start working with partners that already have a pipeline built into those countries, and then from there, a large school of fish from a distance look big, and the big fish that was gonna eat the small fish get scared and back off. All right, let me put this in regular terms. You have to form partnerships that you can leverage that will cut the transactional cost of what you're doing, so you can outdo Viacom. If Viacom or Bellator puts an event on and the doors enough to cover it, they don't care if you owe them more money, because what you're doing is stacking more events close together and ticking off regular consumers. I'm not gonna be dropping $40 every other month. That's kind of it's too. That's $80. That add up. Now, if you have, what's that? 4, 6 events. That's $240 for the year. And my cable bill is like what, $60, $70, or even $30, and I really get the fights, get Bellator for free. You see how this is beginning to, and also, some guys just go to the sports bar and watch it. They don't even bother, and they come home and they watch Bellator still. You gotta be very careful. You know what? I'm just a guy in a fight here, but I'm hoping you're listening to this. Do not go up against Bellator. You're already at the number one spot. You see, this is just like fighting. They are number two. You are number one because you are going up against them. And, you're number two when you go turn around and you fight. You're fighting with number one guy. Guess what? If I walk into the store and I see two products on the shelf, all of a sudden the number one product is beside the number two product, and I say, hey, the number two product's a bit cheaper. You know what? All fights created equal. I'm going to take this. Remember, the sport is growing. People aren't, most people who watch the content on the massive 700 million network worldwide that Viacom is blasting their stuff into, they don't really know what good martial arts is. They don't. Yeah, hey, it's exciting. It's good. They love it. You understand? So my advice to you is don't go up against them. Go below the radar. Gradually build your pipeline. Do not telegraph what you're doing to them. You hold your first international event, they hold the first international event. You see, the big fish in the picture I just showed you, the only reason why that big fish hasn't turned around and gobbled you up is because they're using you as a test case. Everything the UFC does, Bellator is going to copy it, fine tune it, streamline it, and make it work better for them. You're the test case. So you can't go up against them. They pretty much, with all the deals and the massive pipeline and billions of dollars they have in place, they can block you. Okay? They can block all your strategic moves if they feel like. They're just letting you go into markets, penetrate those markets, and then they're gonna come in and boom, go sell less than what you're selling and kill your price point. Don't do that. Don't do that. There's a way you can beat these guys. Stick to the plan. 1. Produce quality content. 2. Space the events out apart. 3. Recruit and retain quality fighters. 4. Develop and push your other revenue streams. You can't go wrong with that. Okay? Utilize the smaller organization as feeders and push some business to them. Okay? There's more strength in numbers. You don't have a big pipeline, but you may not necessarily need a big pipeline for what you're doing. Just do it well and do it effectively. That's the goal. You do that, you never have to worry. Don't turn around and think you're gonna go up against these people on Spike TV. They don't care. They could put any kind of junk, any kind of crap in their pipeline, blast it all over the world, and advertising revenue that they make in 1 hour or 1 second or 30 seconds cover the cost of more than what you're doing. They have the balance sheet that can eat you alive. You don't want to go to war with them. Continue what you're doing, stay low. Now, the next thing I want to point out to you, Dana White, if I'm just hoping that you're watching this. I'm just a guy in a fight here. The next thing I want to point out to you is this. Bellator fighters and, UFC may pay more in bonus. I'm looking at the payouts and that type of stuff. Fine. Notice what's happening with the fighters. You develop their talent. You put them out there. You make them skilled. You do all the work. Bellator just come along and say, hey, good job, Dana White. Thank you very much. We'll take it from here. So they're recruiting your best fighters and pulling your hardcore fans over to their side, slowly but surely. So you see that they're attacking you on two fronts. They're taking your resources and they're forcing you to utilize your resource that you already have. You're gonna burn out. You understand? You'll be fried. They're selling content, not pay-per-view buys, and that's the pay-per-view buys. At some point, people get things are tight all over for everybody. So what you want to do is find a partner with content, like you did with the Fox, like you did with Fox. Get more of those deals where you're pushing content rather than selling pay-per-views. And don't get me wrong, pay-per-views is great, but you can't do it on volume alone. You're gonna need to in, get more broadcasters involved, get more pipelines, and develop your pipeline, work out deals. And because what's gonna happen is that as time go on, why is somebody gonna buy something that they can get for free? That's my question to you. And that's what's gonna happen. Bellator continue what they're doing. They don't give a crap. They can make any kind of content. A monkey fighting a bat. Call it mixed martial arts and blast it through the pipeline. By the time you show up with your high quality human beings, perfect athletes fighting, people don't care. It's all the same to them. I get that for free. I'm not gonna pay for it. Now, no offense to Bellator, because they're doing a good job. If you guys are Bellator watching this, hey, I appreciate how you're making it work with King Mo. Good job on Phil Davis. Good job on securing Josh Koscheck. You dropped the ball on Rampage Jackson, but I'm pretty sure you're gonna get him back. Dana White, hope you get this message, man. Peace out. Love to see what you're doing. Don't be stingy. And by the way, I forgot to tell you, this your secret weapon. Your secret weapon. You have it. You have it right there. When you bought Pride, when you bought all those other organizations, guess what you bought? The rights to the fighters, and one more thing. You got it. You guessed it. You bought the digital library. So you already have content. More content than Bellator have. You're sitting on a cash cow of content. You just need to find a pipeline to put it in. Once you find a pipeline to put that content in that you already have, that video cat library, that catalog that you bought, you just sit back and watch the royalties rolling off that, the advertising revenue coming off that. Then use that money to build a competitive moat around your business, secure your fighters, pay the best, advance your business, advertise, market heavy, stamp them. So here's what you're gonna do. The old content is free, but the new content, that's the one you're bundling cable packages and you get more TV deals. That's how you beat Viacom. You can't go up against a big fish. You did the right thing when you bought up all those smaller organizations because you were slightly bigger, so you feed downstream. But you're making a mistake. Don't turn around and think you can swim upstream. That current is too strong for you. Viacom, they're just sitting by waiting for you because they're learning from your mistakes and fine tuning their processes. That's why they haven't devoured you. They could eat you alive. So take my advice, Dana White. I'm just a guy in a fight chair, but hey, at least it's worth listening to. All right, peace out, man.